This is Theodore at Lies of the Devil. Go to liesofthedevil.com. We're at the front line in a spiritual warfare. We're exposing satanic propaganda in media, false prophets, liars, evildoers. My goal is to reach the younger people out there with these documentaries. I'm going to be doing one on Transformers, The Last Night. It's coming out here, I believe, sometime at the end of June. And the purpose is to reach somebody that might be into this whole Transformers stuff. It's like a tech guy, and get him to realize what these movies are all about, what it's trying to really teach people, trying to get them to not to confuse them, to confuse the gospel of Christ, and to lead people to hell. Okay, that's what Hollywood's all about. Now, I want to open this up with Genesis 3:5. It's one of the verses that pretty much tells you the whole entire thing that Satan's trying to do with lying to people. And you can go to a Bible study I did on Genesis 3:5 to get more information on this. But this is Satan's suggestive promise that he's going to help humans merge with machines and give them everlasting life. And Transformers is part of that. For God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. Now, Transformers was this cult cartoon show. It got a huge following. It wasn't so much of a cult thing, just kids, kids love trucks and fire trucks and spaceships and whatnot. And it's all about these robotic machines that are alien. So they can morph into these robotic human being types, okay, mechanisms, mechs, and they came from outer space to Earth to save mankind while looking for a place that they can inhabit, that they can go to start a colony, while they try to repair Cybertron and become friends with the human race. And as I speak about Transformers in The Last Night, they merge fables together, like King Arthur. They're going to be merging fables, and while they're laying out the biblical Judeo-Christian timeline, they will merge in fables and Gnostic propaganda in this storyline to get people to fall away from the gospel of Christ. Okay, so Genesis 3:5. That's Satan's promise to mankind that after he killed us, basically had us commit suicide. He's going to become the new God, the prince of the air, aliens, okay, Wi-Fi, entertainment, the prince of the air. He's going to then come in as the savior, as the Antichrist, to try to give us everlasting life. Let's go to 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Learn what Satan's doing. We got to learn what Satan's doing, and that's what I'm trying to impart to you people here. You have to learn what he's trying to do so that you can stay away. You can stay away from him, and that you can wake others up. Okay, let's get into the new trailer. And I'll break this little piece of trailer down bit by bit by bit, and then we're going to go into the overall timeline of events and what Transformers is really about.
It started as a legend, one of the greatest of all.
So this is King Arthur, and it goes into King Arthur who, just by doing some look at reviews and spoilers and stuff like that, you can obviously tell anybody that knows about the Jesuits and the Knight of Malta and, the Knights of Columbus can see that this is about the Knights of Columbus, okay, Knights of Malta. And The Last Night is about King Arthur, who actually, Merlin, a magician, gave him the power to be able to conquer land, okay? Okay, look at the fable of King Arthur. I'm not going to get into that. So this whole Transformers movie is about the magic that they gave mankind, these Transformers, magic that they gave mankind to conquer the machines, the evil. And that is the sword and the stone. Okay? It's all about magic. Aliens, all this stuff. It's all about magic. So that's what this opening scene is about.
1,000 years we've kept it hidden. To protect Earth from what was destined to arrive.
Optimus Prime, you destroyed.
That's Optimus Prime in the looking like he's being crucified, okay?
Your home. Do you seek redemption?
My maker, I do.
So she asks this alien creature, this maker, okay? This maker asks Optimus Prime if he wants to redeem himself because he was involved in killing off, he was part of the problem killing off Cybertron. He couldn't fulfill his duty to stop Megatron, okay? So you have Optimus Prime, who's the Jesus Christ figure, and you have Megatron, who is Satan. And I'm gonna get into more detail with that, but I want to break down this trailer first. So just kind of like Alien Covenant that I'm going to be releasing here on May 19th, where these people, these tech gurus, these elitists who really, their vain imaginations have gone wild. They don't want to learn the simplicity of Jesus Christ. They believe that there's demons and that there's aliens in outer space that have better technology, and that there's multiple created engineers and gods out there in the universe, kind of like the Mormon religion, okay? And that there's one supreme being that everybody's trying to tap into, but we have to go through multiple founders, multiple engineers in order to get to God out in outer space. Okay, that's what Transformers is all about. And so that creator, that maker that is saying, do you want to redeem yourself? That is one of the creators, one of the gods that are out there floating in space.
Your daughter, what would you say to her?
Brush your teeth, work hard. Stay away from any boy in a band.
Anthony Hopkins here, he's one of the creators, okay? He's one of the engineers, kind of like in the Matrix, the engineer, okay? He is an engineer who created the robots, who created souls and artificial intelligence. That's who Anthony Hopkins is in this movie. Now, let's go back to the stadium. How many times have you seen stadiums where they've been wrecked like this? Look at Batman, where what's that guy's name? Kane, or whatever his name with the mask on. He caused a terrorist event in a stadium. Okay? And so it's the same thing here with these robots and the Transformers. You're going to have you noticed all of the technology, the TSA, all this anti-terrorist technology being implemented in airports, stadiums, okay? I just did a news article on Facebook, cameras that have been installed in the UK and Russia, and body cams on American police officers, that they'll actually be able to read your face in real time and judge you whether or not you're about to commit a crime, based on your nervous tics or whatever. And it'll feed all this data into a machine, and the artificial intelligence will actually be able to stop a pre-crime. Okay? I know it sounds crazy, but it's real. All right? Now, this whole stadium scenario that they put in multiple movies is going to be one of the terrorist events. They're thinking, okay, I don't know, one of the terrorist events to really implement, not martial law, but implement a technocratic state of affairs where literally everybody is plugged into machines because they have to stop terrorism. Okay? A chip in the hand, whatever, so that to monitor everybody. So that's the scene on the stadium. I mean, look at it in Batman, like I said. Go back there and find out where this scene comes from.
These are troubled times. Without leaders, chaos reigns. Two worlds colliding.
Two worlds colliding, okay? It's all about the good and the evil fighting each other to exhaust each other so that they can implement a new world order system. I talked about this with Stars. Yeah? I talked about this with Star Wars and The Last Jedi, and how the good force and the bad force have to, they both tap into this force, this godhead, and they have to totally exhaust each other to bring about a new world order. It's the same thing with Transformers. Okay, that's what this creator, Anthony Hopkins, is talking about. And mind you, he's also the engineer of Westworld, which is about robotics and how humans and robots, humans go to another place in the US to live out their sick fantasies by killing robots and living in a fantasy world. So Anthony Hopkins is really big into all this.
You're all that stand in its way.
And now the greatest mission of them all, to turn the tide of human history.
Right there, he's standing in the middle of a pagan sundial, okay? The different seasons. And on one end you have magician, you have Merlin, and the magician standing on one end, and the other end you have robots standing on the other end. Aliens.
The imminent destruction of everything we know and love begins.
I'm not.
Right, the imminent destruction of everything we know begins. They have to destroy order out of chaos. And I'm going to go back into the dollar bill that says Novus Ordo Seclorum, order out of chaos, New World Order. Okay, so that's what this is all about. This new creator, they have to destroy it before they can rebuild it. They have to destroy the world before they can rebuild it in the way they want it.
Leaving you.
When all seems lost, a few brave souls can save everything we've ever known.
The operation is over.
We're not giving up on Prime, okay?
Did you see him with the sword and the sword? He's able to like fight back against the robots now. Watch, hold on.
Prime, okay?
See that? King Arthur's sword. That's what it's all about. Magic and the sword. Okay? So he's going to be able to fight against the robots as a human to save the world.
I want to stay, and I want to fight them.
For my world to live, yours must die.
So that's the end of that. See, it basically imparts the magic from King Arthur's sword into, I'm sure, Optimus Prime's new sword. That way he can just start destroying things, destroy the evil that's trying to take over the world, okay? So that's what that's all about. That's what that trailer is all about, okay? And it's going to finally rid evil. Optimus Prime, who I believe turns evil, right, because he wants to redeem himself, and so he has to find the magic that's here on Earth and destroy the Earth and take the magic from the sword or whatever to try to build Cybertron. I don't know the whole entire story. I'm filling in the blanks from the spoilers that I read, and just from the trailer. I mean, you can see everything in the trailer. So it's going to be the good versus bad. Boom, collide, bring about a new world order. The Last Knight. Okay, kind of like The Last Jedi, Transformers: The Last Knight, Star Wars: The Last Jedi. They want this new world order real bad, really bad, and they're trying to condition everybody for it. Now let's just get into the history of Transformers. Who are the Prime? Who are these robotic beings, and where do they derive from in their storyline? The creator who's started Transformers. So essentially, Optimus Prime was created as he was created, and he was given by the creators, okay, the other engineers out there in space, kind of like an alien covenant, the Prometheus, the engineers that created humans, that have nanotechnology to create all kinds of beings. Okay, the creators out there in the world created Optimus Prime and gave him the Matrix movies that everybody's plugged into, this computer interface, gave Optimus Prime the Matrix to be able to create things and also to go after Megatron, who is Satan. So God created Optimus Prime and gave him the power to go after Satan, who fell away from the creators and drugged down a bunch of angels with him, the fallen ones. That's what the Transformers is about. Here we go. This is the origins of Optimus Prime and how he came to be with the cartoons that they showed in the 80s or in the early 80s. Optimus Prime is a character of Jesus, and I'm going to show you here. They explain it thoroughly in their own cartoons.
Animated feature.
One day, an Autobot shall rise from our ranks and use the power of the Matrix to light our darkest hour.
As the result of this unexpected and emotional fan uproar, the character soon returned and has since remained a mainstay of the franchise. Throughout the years, he has undergone several changes. These included receiving a descendant named Optimus Primal in the Beast Wars sequel series.
Optimus Primal, maximize!
However, in recent years, the character has returned to his roots and has once again been brought to life by the iconic voice talent of Peter Cullen.
Let's roll.
Despite Optimus's incredible popularity and prominence in popular culture, many fans still don't know his origins. Incidentally, these were shown in the episode War Dawn, which debuted in the second season of 1984's Generation 1 cartoon series. Within the original continuity, Optimus Prime was once a robot named Orion Pax, a worker robot created by an alien race called the Quintessons. Taking place 9 million years prior to the events of the 1980s cartoon series, he was a naive and defenseless dock warrior that was amazed at the arrival of a new group of military robots that could fly. However, these robots, led by Megatron, rebelled against their creators and declared war on the aliens and the Autobots alike.
You can't do this!
Out of my way, fool!
Severely damaged upon his first encounter with Megatron, Orion Pax was rebuilt. This occurred through becoming the first test subject of a reconstruction process crafted by the Autobot Elder, Alpha Trion. Re-emerging as Optimus, he discovered that he had been given a battle-hardened reconfiguration and a new sense of courage.
So, I'm telling you this, they have multiple storylines that Optimus Prime dies multiple times, but the actual philosophy behind the Transformers from their own mouths, okay? Optimus Prime is the figure of Jesus Christ. Now, I want to break down a couple things. Orion Pax was his original name. He was a slave robot. Remember the Samaritans? The Samaritans, I believe. It all merges together. I keep forgetting some of these names. But the Greek, the ancient texts of the Samaritans, they said that mankind was a slave race, that the Nephilim, the aliens, the Anunnaki, came here, created us as a slave race so that we could mine gold for them. Look at the last documentary I did on July the Star, Nubarian cult, Heaven's Gate. Okay? They believe in this stuff. They believe that humankind's were slave race to mine gold for the aliens. It's the same thing with Orion Pax. He was a slave race. He was a slave alien race to do slave labor, and the military aliens, aka the fallen ones, aka Satan, came down to their planet, and when he tried to fight back, he couldn't fight back. He got killed off, and then he resurrected as Jesus Christ. Okay? They take, again, go back to the Shaq documentary. Everything I'm talking about can be documented in everything else I've done. Oprah Winfrey, all these people, Rob Bell, okay? They believe that all these golden fables connect together into the bigger Godhead. They believe we will get closer to God through fables. Transformers is no different. Go look at the Shaq documentary. Go look at all the different stuff I've done. Okay? It all merges together. So Optimus Prime, we'll go into this. I actually have a book written by the people who love Transformers, a philosophy book that states that Megatron and Megatron and Optimus Prime are Satan and Jesus. See, Optimus Prime reaching out to his creator robot, and they're barely touching, kind of like the painting where it has Adam reaching out to God, and they're almost touching. They're made in God's image. Okay, Optimus Prime was made in his creator's image. Origins: Optimus Prime formed current incarnation when handed the Matrix by Sentinel Prime, his creator. Jesus Christ was there from the very beginning of creation and appeared 35 years before being executed as a criminal. It's the same storyline as Optimus Prime sacrificing himself for the greater good and coming back as a superhero. Optimus Prime, he has a trinity, okay? There's a trinity for him. Optimus Prime, the robot, the soul. Secondary is the trailer module missile station that he's transported around in. And the tertiary is the roller, okay? Jesus Christ, Yahweh Father. Secondary, Jesus Son. Tertiary, the Holy Ghost. Optimus Prime has died many times over, but his death has always resulted in Optimus Prime protecting life or defeating overwhelming odds. He has always returned from death. Jesus Christ perished once to be executed, but he died for all of humanity, okay, to wash us away from our sins. Miracles and acts of note: Optimus Prime saved Earth, Cybertron, and even the known universe numerous times from threats from both Decepticon plans and murderous demigods. Jesus Christ, after resurrection, was apparently a new body, but this is not independently verified. This is from a secularist, okay? He turned one liquid into another form of liquid, water into wine, and talking about all the different miracles, okay? Optimus Prime, known associates. Primus, God and creator of Transformers. Several hundred known giant transforming robots, because he actually created the different robots after himself. Jesus Christ, and those were his followers, okay? The 12 different robotic primes that followed him, kind of like how he had disciples. Jesus Christ had 12 disciples of his own. Okay? Goes on and on and on and on. This is a book called Transformers and the Philosophy. Transformers and their Philosophy, More Than Meets the Eye. Page 201. Megatron flamboyantly plays as the satanic role to the hilt. And not just his evil deeds, Megatron shows nothing but utter contempt for the Autobots' self-righteous moralizing. Humans don't deserve to live is his mantra. In Megatron's evil philosophy, the strong not only rule, survival of the fittest, but it is right that they rule. He always yells, strike with all might, strike with all the might at our command, death to the Autobots and the decay that they stand for. By the strange logic of strength, the only alternative to growth is decay, order out of chaos. Okay? Transformers and their philosophy. It's all about using the Bible to create storylines outside of it. These are Optimus Prime. This is Optimus Prime. In every single Transformer movie, there's there's going to be 5 of them. The 5th one's coming out here soon. But all 4 of the Optimus, the ending is him talking about being a savior and giving insight into the mysteries of the universe. And we'll break down every ending one by one. Now, some of it might have lewd stuff in it because it is a worldly film, and I'll try to fast forward through it. But I'm going to break down each ending one by one as to how it pertains to all the other documentaries I'm doing, and also as we unravel the truth in this new Transformer movie.
With the Allspark gone,
this is the end of the first movie, by the way.
Cannot return life to our planet. And fate has yielded its reward. A new world. We live among its people now, hiding in plain sight, but watching over them in secret, waiting, protecting. I have witnessed their capacity for courage, and though we are worlds apart, like us, there's more to them than meets the eye. I am Optimus Prime, and I send this message to any surviving Autobots taking refuge among the stars. We are here. We are waiting.
Do you understand that? Now, it goes back into all this New Age paganism. They believe that aliens are watching over us. They believe that aliens out there are opening up portals like the Transformers and flying through light years of space to watch over us, to make sure that we evolve into new human beings, more spiritual beings, godlike creatures. That you are God, I am God, just like Jesus Christ is God, but he was actually planted here by the aliens to help us evolve into the next level of consciousness. Buddha, okay? Buddha, Hinduism, all that nonsense. That's what the Transformers film is talking about here, where he's watching over us to help us become better men so we can travel the stars. This is the ending of the second film, by the way.
Thank you, Sam, for saving my life.
You're welcome. Thank you for believing in me.
Our races united by a history long forgotten, and a future we shall face together. I am Optimus Prime, and I send this message so that our pasts will always be remembered. For in those memories, we live on.
So, what was that about? That was all about unity, the New World Order. You know, all races unite. The Tower of Babel. Okay? And Ronald Reagan, in his own words, I'm going to get to this. Ronald Reagan, in his own words, said that in order to unite mankind, I'm thinking that there has to be some type of catastrophe like aliens invading Earth. I'm just telling you guys what's out there. Okay? They're trying to lead everybody away from Jesus Christ. Satan wants to lead people away from Jesus Christ, and he'll do it through entertainment. He'll do it through stupid storylines like the Transformers. He'll do it any which way possible, so you guys and your imaginations go off into La La Land, and you don't understand the simplicity and the truth of the gospel of Jesus Christ and God. Jesus Christ, who is God, Son of Man. Okay? Here's the ending to part 3.
You gotta slow way down, okay?
Well, I'm just trying to help out.
In any war, there are calms between storms.
You fought bravely.
There will be days when we lose faith. Days when our allies turn against us.
It's talking about the U.S., right? They got the U.S. banner behind them. There's going to be, when they try to usher in World War III, it's going to be hardcore, go after America, destroy it, and so that they can take over. Communists. Go look at Albert Pike, Freemason, 33rd degree Freemason. It's all about the war in the Middle East to destroy Israel, have the Christians and the atheists debate each other, have total all-out war. America is a superpower. So when people are ready to go to World War III, it's going to be a perfect combination, a perfect cocktail of all this. A war in the Middle East, Christians and atheists will fight each other so much so that they'll usher in a new world Luciferian religion because they'll be so exhausted fighting each other, and all the countries bombarding America. And we will beg. We will beg for socialism, communism. We will beg for a new world order. So will Europe.
But the day will never come that we forsake this planet and its people. Jaeger.
And so that was basically basically setting up number 4. It was not a strong ending like the other ones, but basically they'll be back. That's essentially what the end of the third movie was.
I do not know. But whenever you look to the stars, think of one of them as my soul.
How many people do you think that, how many atheists and panspermian transhumanists and all these wackos that think that we're living in a hologram, how many of them think that we literally came from the stars, that we're star people? Okay, this is the ending to part 4. So Optimus Prime is saying, go look out in the stars whenever you see any of them. That's my soul. That's what the aliens believe, the alien race.
Defend this family, Autobots, as they have you. Defend all they can be. There are mysteries to the universe we were never meant to solve. But who we are and why we are here are not among them. Those answers we carry inside. I am Optimus Prime, and this message is to my creators. Leave planet Earth alone, 'cause I'm coming for you.
Okay, that goes back into Alien Covenant and the humans wanting to have everlasting life, and they're going to seek out the gods. Okay, that was in Prometheus. Now, in Alien Covenant, the artificial intelligence that we create in our own image, right, Weyland Corporation, and I'm going to get into this in Alien Covenant, the artificial intelligence finds out how nasty their gods are, the engineers, okay, because they hate God. And so they're using the engineers as the God of the Old Testament. It's the same God in Old and New Testament, but the way they look at it is warped. And so they think that the God in the Old Testament is like a vengeful, nasty God and is just mass murder or whatever. And so they take that concept, their idea, their false idea of who God is in the Old Testament, and they portray it in these fables, and the Prometheus engineers is the God of the Old Testament. And they hate him, and they're going out into space to kill him off. That's what Alien Covenant's going to be all about. That's only one part. There's so much more to it. But that's what Optimus Prime saying, the mysteries of the universe. There's so many mysteries in the universe. And then he says, for my enemies out there in space, I'm coming after you. Okay? I want to get into... Yeah, I see it. I want to get into movie... Oh, okay. Let's just go right into this, actually. So this is all about aliens, Transformers, all about aliens and stuff like that. Now, Michael Bay, he was offered to make the Transformer movies. I can't remember exactly where. My brother told me this because he loves movies. He said that Michael Bay was supposed to make a Transformer movie back in like the late 90s, early 2000s, and he didn't want anything to do with it. You know, he wanted nothing to do with it. He's like, it's a stupid storyline. Well, now that there's CGI and, you know, people are sucked into this Gnostic propaganda, he must have seen it as like, yes, this is a great way to make money. I don't know. And so now he made the Transformer movies, and I'm just going to show you out of his own mouth, he believes in aliens and panspermia and all that nonsense because he made Terminators, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and the original concept for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was not the ooze, the radioactive ooze that the turtles fell into and then raised them up into being like these monsters or whatever, but that they were actually aliens from another planet. Okay, so this is what Michael Bay believes in. That's why all of his movies have the same theme, all about aliens and stuff like that. Okay, Armageddon. Look at Armageddon. It's all this sci-fi nonsense about wiping humans out. Let me find it here. Yep. Michael Bay responds to an outrage over a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle alien announcement. Look at this little eye right here. I didn't even, you know, it's no little symbolism. This is the Hollywood Reporter. Yep, because they love the Eye of Horus. They love the Eye of Horus. You know, they believe in Egyptian gods and stuff. Here's what he said. Fans need to take a deep breath and chill. They have not read the script, he wrote. Our team is working closely with one of the original creators of Ninja Turtles to help expand and give more complexity to the story. Oh, here we go. Bay said about his upcoming franchise reboot during a presentation at Nickelodeon Upfront, these turtles are from an alien race, and they are going to be tough, edgy, funny, and completely lovable. So he's all into the alien stuff. Big time. Let's just look at his filmography so you guys get an idea of how really sick and twisted this Michael Bay guy is. Even though he comes out as like a lovable guy, he's a very violent person. Okay? Here he is. He's done the Transformers. He did the movie Armageddon. You look at the movie Armageddon, and I mean, anyway, go watch the movie Armageddon. It's not as friendly as you think. The way that they just talk about God, and they talk about God, they blanket. What they did is that the oil driller is talking about God, please help us, please God, just help us. But see, Michael Bay takes it, and instead of God giving them the miracles that they need to destroy this asteroid to save mankind, it's actually himself who actually sacrifices himself like Jesus Christ to save the world. And so it's always about man being able to overcome, right? Always. Just so anyway, you can watch Armageddon, pay attention to that. So let's look at his filmography real quick. So he's going to be doing Transformers 7. There's 7 Transformers? Okay, well, whatever one we're doing here, it doesn't even really matter at this point. It's all nonsense. The Purge. You guys know about The Purge? I'm not even going to show you guys clips of The Purge. It's so violent, so incredibly violent. I'll just show you this one clip of what The Purge is all about. But it's essentially a dystopian America. In order to keep the crime rate down and poverty down, they get one night where people can go out and murder homeless people. And it is a sick film, and Michael Bay's a part of that. Okay, I'm just going to play this one clip that basically tells you all about what The Purge is about. It's not violent. The language is violent, but I'm not going to show you actual violence.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge sanctioned by the U.S. government. Weapons of Class 4 and lower have been authorized for use during the purge. All other weapons are restricted. Government officials of ranking 10 have been granted immunity from the purge and shall not be harmed. Commencing at the siren, any and all crime, including murder, will be legal for 12.
So that's what The Purge is all about. It's all about people having the right, the legal right to go and destroy. And they have a new founding fathers, a new America. Michael Bay's sick, man. That's sick. That is really, really sick. He's into Ouija, the origin of evil. So he's into spiritualism and demonology. He's a producer for that. He's into, well, there's another one, Ouija, okay? Demonology, The Purge, Anarchy. He's into the occult. Nightmare on Elm Street, that's a horror film, which is just ridiculous. Friday the 13th, all these remakes. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, serial killers, blood, death cult, Amityville Horror, demonology. Okay, that's who Michael Bay is. I know everybody thinks like, oh, he's such a handsome guy. Look at those, look at, and he speaks so well. Oh, and he makes a Teenage Mutant Turtle movies and Transformers. It's so cute. And then you got Shia LaBeouf, who's like this really innocent, cool. I mean, look, he's such a good storyteller. And Michael Bay's just like, oh, I'm glad you guys like the stories. I'm glad you like the stories. But in the back of his mind, he's just like, death, Ouija boards, occultism. How are we going to lace all this into our new stuff? That's who the guy is. Don't be fooled by actors. Don't be fooled by people with a charming smile. So let's just get into Ronald Reagan and how he said that in order to unify mankind, there's going to have to be an alien invasion of some sort. Flashback: Reagan's vision for a unifying alien invasion. President Barack Obama outlined several points of Middle Eastern policy goals before the United Nations. During a speech before the United Nations in '87, this is a flashback to kind of compare what Barack Obama did to unify the United Nations against ISIS. President Reagan spoke in 1987 about a longing for the world to unite, and it would only happen if there was aliens who invaded Earth. This is his direct quote from him. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bond. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. Ronald Reagan wishing an alien invasion on Earth because of the Cumbia effect. It would have on relations among nations, says Rachel Maddow. Rachel Maddow's a joke. But my point is that's what he was talking about. An alien invasion would unite the world. Okay? Now let's go look at these New World Order quotes. These people are in positions of power, like Michael Bay, like Hollywood, like all the liberal weirdos in Hollywood and in California. Okay? They're all part of a New World Order system. And they're going to use technology, and they're going to brainwash you into thinking that there's real aliens going to invade the Earth, and they're going to distract you while they create the actual technology to enslave you. And you're going to love your servitude, like Aldous Huxley said. Here we go. Senator Joseph Biden Jr., how I learned to love the New World Order. That's what he said in the Wall Street Journal. Vice President Biden said, the affirmative task before us is to create a New World Order. President George W. Bush, we will succeed. The world can therefore, we cannot, basically, you have to seize on the opportunity, chaos. We have to seize this opportunity, fulfill the long-held promise of a New World Order. President George H.W. Bush, State of the Union Address in 1991. The drive of the Rockefellers and their allies is to create a one-world government. Representative Larry P. McDonald. Each of us has the hope to build a new world order. President Nixon in China in 1972. We are moving toward a new world order of communism. We shall never turn off that road. Gorbachev. I think this is Obama's task in developing an overall strategy for America in this period when we really need a new world order, when really a new world order can be created. Henry Kissinger. Okay? Goes on and on and on. They want a new world order. And again, you've got the right, these corporatists, and then you got the communists on the left-hand side, and they're one and the same. They're called plutocratic socialists. And they want to have a monopoly, like Google, okay? They want to have a monopoly on technology so that they can enslave mankind. They want to keep all the money and use socialism and under the guise of democracy to hold the people down, while they create the wealth and they suck all the wealth from everybody and eventually try to kill people off. That's what Satan's plan is. If these people are just being used. Okay, they want a new world order, and they're going to use aliens and the fear of aliens to try to unite people. Now, I'm going to give you into some of my theories as to what I really believe is going on with the UFOs and aliens and the race of technology. But I'm just going to get through here real quick the rest, what's actually happening in the real world before we get off into theories. Let's go back into this video. It gives you a short summary as to what they don't want you to know, right?
Stuff they don't want you to know. Here are the facts. The actions of the Nazi Party were erratic, ruthless, and bizarre. It's no wonder the group has become one of the conspiracy world's favorite boogeymen. After its defeat in World War II, the Nazi Party collapsed and the conspiracy tales began. People swore, for example, that Adolf Hitler survived the war, or that the Nazis had help from international bankers. Perhaps one of the most fascinating theories is that the Nazi Party had secret, advanced technology, years or even decades ahead of the Allied forces. It sounds like science fiction, but could it be true? We know the Nazis created the V-2 rocket, the world's first ballistic missile. We also know the US created Operation Paperclip to smuggle Nazi scientists into America, sparing their lives in exchange for their talents with rockets. But how advanced was Germany, really?
So, it is so sick what happened in Nazi Germany. They had, in the deep Alps, okay, the deep mountains, they would have these underground bunkers where they would create these V-2 rockets. They shot off like 5,500 V-2 rockets in a span of a month. That's a lot of ammunition. That is a lot, okay? And what they would do so that they could They used slave labor. They rallied up the Jews, the Christians. They rallied up anybody else that were dissidents, that they deemed dissidents. They rallied them up and they put them in slave labor camps. And so these bunkers out in the mountains where they were manufacturing these V2 rockets, they would put people into those mountains. They would be manufacturing warheads. And they would work them. They literally would like sleep maybe a couple, 3 hours a day and be fed nothing. And they would just dispose of the bodies. People would just die off. This happened. People, like 40, 50 people would like die off every day, and they would just throw their bodies away, and they would write to Hitler and say, hey, we need more people that are healthier, 30 to 40-year-old males. Don't believe me? Look it up. Okay, it was sick. And that's not even talking about the human experiments that Stalin and the Russians did to like create chimpanzee humans, a super soldier. They've been wanting to do this for a long time, okay? The bankers, international bankers, IBM was involved in it. They're the ones that came up with the consensus, the machine systems to create a census of the people that were in Germany so that the Germans could actually look at the documents and find out, okay, hey, this neighborhood needs to be killed off. Here's the Jews. Go find their houses. You know, George Soros, who's a billionaire, he was part of it. He was a Nazi collaborator. Okay, it was sick. So it's always been about creating super soldiers. It's always creating better military so that they can suppress the people. It's all about creating robotics and technology to suppress the people so that they become the overlords. And Transformers is a distraction. Transformers is about aliens coming out here and entertainment, and aliens coming down here and and just entertaining people, when the fact of the reality is they're telling you exactly what they want to do. They want to create robots, and they want to create artificial intelligence that they will say will be aliens so that they can become our overlords, while the technocratics and the elites can develop more technology so they can go out into space and live in space while everybody's sitting here rotting on Earth. That's what they want to do. But here's the kicker. God's not going to let that happen. God is in control. You know what I mean? They think that they're going to get away with all this stuff. God says specifically multiple times in the Holy Bible that their wicked devices, he just laughs at them. It is funny. When you get to the point where you understand what all this stuff is, you laugh at it. Like, that's insane. It's scary looking at it that they're developing all this technology, but the end result is they're not going to get away with it. So Transformers is all just an entertainment juggernaut to keep the masses entertained and in a haze while they develop technology that in itself is alien, that in itself will harm mankind because they want it. They want it to. Skynet, Terminator. Here's DARPA. DARPA is an actual government institution that is creating this technology, okay? This is actually real world. This isn't Transformers Fantasyland, Entertainment Land. This is real world stuff.
What if American warfighters could stop a rocket-propelled grenade? Spot the enemy with binoculars in the sky. March all day with superhuman strength. Swim twice as fast with half the effort. Sound impossible? One shadowy U.S. agency is making all this and more happen. DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. It's the R&D arm of the Defense Department. DARPA enables the game-changing military breakthroughs that others dismiss as impossible.
If I have an idea for a new tank, DARPA's not going to be interested in that. They're going to say, go to a company that makes tanks. But if I have an idea for a hover tank or an invisible tank, and I can show a reasonable scientific plan to get to that end goal, DARPA's the one who's going to fund that.
Okay. Now, here's the thing. I'm not saying that everybody in DARPA and the government and military is bad. I'm not saying that. I'm saying they're being used big time. You know, you got these crazy people like Kim Jong-un. You got these crazy little terrorists that want to see death. Okay? you have to go fight those people. I understand that. Okay. But then the other side of it is the terrorism that has been created by destroying off Christianity and not letting Christianity have a voice in a big way. And freedoms, you know, where people... Anyway, my point is that they want to accelerate the growth of technology, not only to fight the enemy and to become a superpower, but they will in turn, because they own it, the big banks, the Rockefellers and stuff, they own all this stuff. They will then use it. They'll get another Hitler type power, the Antichrist, into power, and they will then do whatever the big bankers want. Okay? And at the same time, physically that's happening. Spiritually, they're brainwashing people with alien crap so that we are totally infatuated with an alien invasion or whatever, so that when they actually do it physically, spiritually, through our souls, we will take it in and we will go, oh, you know, we'll freak out, or people will fall away from the gospel of Jesus Christ, or, I mean, you name it. There's all different types of scenarios, but it's the physical world and the spiritual world, and they intertwine. The CIA admits it. Go look at CIA psychics, okay? The police departments have psychics that literally they work with on murder cases, okay? The world is strange, people, and I'm trying to wake you up, you guys that watch Transformers. Okay, the spiritual world and the physical world are one and the same. And these aliens and the UFOs is... Okay, they're trying to use that to unite the world. The Tower of Babel. They want to unite the world like the Tower of Babel. Well, God's not going to allow that to happen. He's going to destroy it. He'll destroy it before it gets that far. This is just how creepy... This is how creepy that... the technology... Actually, let me go to the article first. Here's the 15 current astounding technologies DARPA is creating right now. Oops, let me open up as one page. Yeah, that's a little horse thing, like a cargo carrier. And it runs as fast as a human being. It's crazy. Here we go. Bullets that can change direction in flight. Okay, it's called the Extreme Accuracy Tasked Ordnance. Sniper. High energy lasers. They have this stuff already. They have high energy beam lasers that they're trying to release to the public without frightening people. They already have it. So they have high energy lasers that literally they don't need guns. I mean, these things will melt. These things will destroy things like in a matter of a second. They can use it to build bunkers underneath the ground, cut through rock, etc., etc. Flying trucks, kind of like drones, but they'll be flying trucks. Robotic pack animals, they already have that. They already have cyborgs that actually run and move things. Like they can move like an Amazon because they're looking for cheap labor. They want to get rid of the human. They want to get rid of humans. And they have these robots that'll actually pick up boxes and move them, you know, and they'll climb up stairs and stuff. So this pack animal, this pack robot, they've already developed it towards like an actual human that'll take over manufacturing jobs from humans, these robots. Self-calculating gun scopes, a system that provides almost immediate closed air support. Let's go right into this movie called Surrogates. And this is literally what the Army is going to look like in the future. Guaranteed. This is what the Army is going... They're showing you in movies, because these people have contacts in the government, they're showing you in this movie Surrogates exactly what the U.S. Army and how war is going to look in the future.
I'm down.
Damn things aren't free, Pulaski. Take the snipers from behind this time.
Yes, sir.
So these guys are in these tanning beds, basically like tanning beds, and they are mapped into these robots, these surrogates, and the robots go to war, not human beings. Okay, it's all a race to total destruction. It's all a race. Anyway, you guys get the point. It's crazy. Here's the movie Oblivion, where eventually in warfare, they're going to get to the point where they're going to have clones, like a Brave New World, where they're going to have, maybe in 100, 200 years from now, this is what these people think, okay? That they're going to have a dystopian Earth where people are going to be down there trying to survive in radioactive elements, you know, after nukes blow off and whatever. and that the elites, the oligarchs, will be living in space, and they will have as many clones as they want, like Neo in the Matrix, all these robots, okay? They'll have as many clones as they want to run their machinery and to do their bidding. And so this movie, Oblivion, this is essentially what, okay? This is essentially what they're looking at in the future, what they're wanting. So this is Tom Cruise looking at all of his clones, all the different clones in these, kind of like the Matrix, basically. So that's basically like, that's Mother. That's basically the head robot that runs everything, even the human beings. They run everything, okay? They want the aliens, artificial intelligence is the demon. Okay, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Genesis 3:5. Satan is going to use technology to enslave mankind.
Alone against a whole army. And what Horatius said. That's not the survivor you promised me. No, it's not. You, Jack. I am your god.
Let me rewind that. That's the technology, okay? Because we created the technology, Satan is going to use it to enslave mankind, saying that it's our God. Satan is our God.
I created you, Jack. I am your god.
Isn't that kind of creep you out? The like Verizon commercials is like the red eye, you know, like Borg or whatever. It's like Borg. Okay? In Space Odyssey, I can't remember the name of the robot, but it has a red eye. Okay? And it's in the shape of a pyramid. Okay? I'm going to reiterate this. The people in the government, people that are being used by Satan, that think that they're actually doing a good thing by fighting terrorists, you're being used by Satan. Genesis 3:5, Satan is going to use technology to give us everlasting life, but also fool us and to create and fool us into giving up our soul by merging with machines so that he can take over those machines. That's what they're saying here. Here's Elon Musk saying that the demon will be artificial intelligence. We are summoning the demon.
We should be very careful about our guess at what our biggest existential threat is. It's probably that. So we need to be very careful with artificial intelligence. I'm increasingly inclined to think that there should be some regulatory oversight maybe at the national and international level, just to make sure that we don't do something very foolish. I mean, with artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon.
That's Elon Musk. Now, I'm going to tell you something. That's Elon Musk. Now, here's the kicker. He's owned by corporatists, okay? I guarantee the guy's highly in debt, even though he says he's a big billionaire. I guarantee the guy is in debt big time. He sold his soul out to the devil, okay? These corporatists. And he literally is a slave, man. And so he's going around telling people like, we don't want to summon the demon. I'm here to protect you guys against artificial intelligence. I got to make sure that I'm protecting you guys against the summoning of the demon. And while he's doing that, he's talking about creating brain chips and neural pathways in the brain so he can map you out. Okay? Don't believe these people. They're being run by Satan. Resist technology as much as possible. My babe's got a flip phone. I have a smartphone that is very low tech compared to what they have out now. Okay? The computers I have are older. You know what I mean? I do everything I can to resist technology. I use it to try to wake you people up and to do pay the bills and whatnot. But if you guys want to resist this stuff, stop buying the ultra high definition 4K TVs. Stop buying the Blu-ray discs. Stop getting sucked into their game. Because once you get sucked in, it's just a slow degeneration of your soul. Let's go into the article where basically we wrote about this. He says, Elon Musk pretends to save mankind while ushering in the mark of the beast brain chips. So the day that we made a video, that God led me to make a video talking about how he's going to end the AI apocalypse with an off-world safe haven. After he says he's going to help humankind, he then establishes a new company the next day called Neuralink Corp. Neuralink Corp is, let's see here. Neuralink Corp is no different than DARPA's biotech. See, they will take biotech and say, "Oh, this is good. Well, we're gonna solve cancer. We're gonna figure out how to give you everlasting life." Meanwhile, Elon Musk is on the other side, figuring out a way to get the mark of the beast inside your head or in your arm. They already have this. They already have elastic tattoos that is kind of like the mark of the beast, but they're going to see how far they can go. I'm particularly intrigued by biotechnology, because we hope to have programmable microbes to produce needed medications on the fly in an effort to basically lower health costs, et cetera, et cetera. See, they're gonna give you poison coated in candy. They're gonna take the little poison pill and put a chocolate covering over it and say, "Hey, this isn't poison. This is candy," you know. I just want to end it on this. This is this guy. His name is Richard Seed. He's a transhumanist. He's a theoretical physicist. And he basically says, listen, we're going to become like gods. You want to try to stop us from becoming like gods? We're going to have warfare.
We are going to become gods. Period. If you don't like it, get off. You don't have to contribute. You don't have to participate. But if you're going to interfere with me becoming God, you're going to have big trouble. And we'll have warfare.
Says that we're going to have warfare. Now, people that are trying to figure this out, they're going, what is going on here? How he just went off on tons of rabbit trails. No, I'm going to circle this all around for you guys, okay, right now. Okay? The Lord Jesus Christ explained everything in this book. Revelation already talks about the mark of the beast, rumors of war, the whole 9 yards. Everything is in this book, the Holy Bible, God's Word. Okay? The physical world and the spiritual world are one. In fact, the spiritual world is more real than the physical world. Mankind is made in the image of God. We can actually build things. And so, because Satan is using propaganda in Hollywood and all this other stuff to destroy the mind so he can take the soul, once he does that, he can then move the cattle in any which way direction he wants. And he's doing it by creating corrupt governments, military-industrial complexes, economic warfare, all the corruption that you see, so that he can implement his plan that he set out in Genesis 3:5, which is to help us become godlike by merging with machines and taking over. That's what he wants to do. God's not going to allow that to happen. So let's say this again. Let's say you're a clone, okay? Let's say let's just say one part of you goes and lives a Christian godly life and a righteous life, and you just want to help spread the gospel of Christ. You live a simple life, okay? A natural life, a woman with kids, okay? That's one area, okay? Then you have the other life, which is total blaspheming against God, filling your mind with horror movies and all this Transformer stuff and all this ridiculous stuff, and being totally brainwashed and letting corrupt government do whatever they want, and that is developing technology that will end up enslaving you, all for filthy lucre's sake. And you got these actors like Elon Musk, you got these guys like Richard Seed, you've got all these Bill Gates, okay, Microsoft, you have IBM, Intel, you have all these entities that are working for Satan to destroy mankind, whether they know it or they don't. And Transformers is a way to entertain you by also giving you the truth and saying, hey, listen, artificial intelligence is real, it is coming, and we're going to say that it's aliens, but really it's Satan to enslave you. And they take the Bible because they know the Bible is 100% for real. They just have a perverted view of it because they want to make money. They take the Bible and they lace in Gnostic propaganda and whatever statements that they want to make to lead you away from Christ. That's what Satan's doing. You need to learn the Lord Jesus Christ. You need to pray to God. God, I want to know the truth. Please help me know the truth. Okay? You need to read Romans. You need to get into the Word of God. You want to be saved? You want to know the truth of the world? Read the Bible. Read the Bible. Tune into lies of the devil. I'm going to do my best to give you the truth so that I can help give your soul, help plant seeds in your soul and water your soul, the seeds, okay, to get you to know the Lord Jesus Christ. Please stay with me for 30 days. Watch us for 30 days. And I guarantee you, I can't guarantee you because God is the one that's in control of you, but I will tell you, give lies of the devil 30 days and we will change you. What's that? Oh, Layman's Bookstore, but that's after they learn. That's after they grow up. God bless. Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ which strengtheneth me. John 8:32, ye should know the truth and the truth will make you free. This isn't a game, people. This is not a game. Okay, we're at the front line in a spiritual war. People need to wake up. Send this documentary to people that are in Transformers. Send this documentary out there and say, hey, listen, snap out of it. Okay? Quit living in Fantasyland. Michael Bay is a vicious monster. The director of Transformers is a vicious monster. God bless.